Petronas is a very important, Petronas dividends is a very important source of revenue for the government. This year they've committed some 32 billion. So with the development with Petronas and Petros, are you expecting lower dividends going forward?
I think first and foremost, I think the discussions with Petronas and Petros is still ongoing. Yeah, they work out saying the high level principle that leads to a win-win solution for both have already been agreed. But at the end of the day, you still have to translate it to the nitty-gritty, right? So let them sort out the nitty-gritty. So if there is some sharing of revenue that actually happens along the way, does the country lose? The answer is no. Because if Petros were to gain some money, they will still spend it to grow the oil and gas industry, but in the state of Sarawak. So from a GDP point of view, the country still gets the money. It's just allocated from a different vehicle. The second thing is we also have to recognize Petronas has done well over all the years. They've built a Fortune 500 company. They've been growing well overseas, and in that sense, they have resilience in their system. They may have to do some optimization to sustain, and I'm sure Tengku Taufik and the leadership team there will be looking at how to sustain better going forward. But the country has also progressed compared to the early days. Actually, our dependency on Petronas has declined over the years. Yeah, so the revenue that we earn from Petronas, at one point, at the worst period, I think it had hit more than 40% of the total hasil was coming in from that side. 2023, I think it has now declined to about 19-20%. Yeah, and in the current projection forward, we are going to try to take it down further to 15 or 16%, but based on growing other hasils elsewhere, right? And so then again, same concept, diversification. You should never be overly dependent on one, but you break it off. We can't knock the growth of approved investments, right? 346.5 billion or something last year was brought in. And we are really seeing the value of the investments brought in translating into reality. You don't have to go far, just take the GDP numbers. And when you take the GDP numbers, you look by segment. Yeah? And if you look at the segment, the construction sector is up on the fourth quarter 20%. That's because they've taken the FDI. The FDI now is translating to construction because they need to build the data centers, they need to build the new factories and so on. And it's happening along the way. I saw some numbers not too long ago from MITI and Bank Negara, which actually said that in the past, our conversion rate was about 70% of all approved investments will convert to reality. Of late, the number has now increased to 77.7% or something like that. So that's good. Yeah? It's really making sure that what people promise, they translate on the ground. And when they translate on the ground, activity in the GDP has gone up, activity to the construction sector has gone up, jobs are created. This February, we pushed up minimum wage to 1,007. So that also helps us because what it does is it creates also a private spending economy. So the leg of the economy now will have FDI, DDI, and private consumption. We just need to focus, how do we continue to feed these engines so the whole economy will continue to churn well. Yeah? Is it going to be perfectly smooth? No, nothing in the world is perfectly smooth. But if we focus well, we can get more and more done. We will have the resiliency we need. And if our plans are clear, yeah, and we execute against the plan, we have the ability to retransform the economy. I think that's what we're trying to do as a government.